Welcome to another Milepost of the V-Twin Life. We talk motorcycles powered by those V-Twins, why we enjoy it, what they mean to us, and just why we enjoy the open road. V-Twin Life is brought to you by CrashInClothing.com, also known as Crash Inc. on the World Wide Web. Man, Brad is on a lot of stuff. You want to get some merchandise, you want to get parts, you want to upgrade stuff on your bike. He is a dealer for a lot of great companies, so check out CrashInClothing.com and see what they got for you. Now, we got Wild Ass. You want to add some comfort to your ass? Man, Wild Ass has got you covered. They've got something you like. Use that promo code DWoods. Get yourself free shipping and put that ass in comfort. Can't forget Custom Dynamics, leading the world in LED lighting and LED technology. Man, these got some great stuff. You want to light up your life at nighttime? You want to be seen during the day? Hey, check out Custom Dynamics. Can't forget Lexan. These guys got some great comm units. I just got the new G16s. Man, you want to talk quality? These things are awesome. Loudspeakers, plus they got some air pumps, small ones you keep in your bike. They're ready to go. So check out Lexan. So now, let's get to another milepost of the V-Twin Life. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another milepost here. We are kicking down milepost 142 with, man, I think it's very fair to say with a motorcycle riding legend, Mr. Ksolo.
Hey, man, how's it going, Dimmer? How's it going?
It's going good, man. Thanks for taking time out on a Sunday to come hang out and share some adventures, stories, and words of wisdom.
You know it, man. You know, anytime.
It's funny tonight. I was going back through because making some notes and whatnot. It's been almost 4 years since you've been on. It's like I'm looking back. My wife's like, "We've been doing that this long." And February 25th at 21, man. You were look at my notes. Milepost 30, 31.
Yeah, 31, man. It's been a while. I was sitting there like, wow, okay. The 2020 Hoka Hey, and then 21. I think we did it in 21, right?
Yeah,
and
February.
Yeah. And then 22, I wrote it again, and I was like, man, time is really flying by. But it's been good. How about you?
Oh, it's been going good. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of things. It's amazing doing this, and I know probably a lot of episodes, it's like a broken record, but to me, the biggest reward of doing this is the friendships I've been able to make with so many people and others that I've got to get introduced to. And man, it's an amazing community that all of us really enjoy, that we're all a part of. And man, it's really freaking cool.
It is, man. It is. And the thing about it is, a lot of long distance riders, man, are in groups like the Hoka Hey, Mile Monster, a couple of other groups, the IBA, the SMA, and it's just like a great big old league. You know what I'm saying? Of everybody knowing everybody, names are mentioned, rides are recorded and referenced, and people travel the same routes, man. So everybody has something in common in this group, in this long distance riding community.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great way to start it. How did you get yourself involved in long distance riding? What got you to the, where it all began for you? How'd you know this was something you were going to enjoy, or really what sparked that adventure?
Of course, I came into the motorcycle community years ago when I was a young boy, and I had my first bike, a little Yamaha Phaser. I think it was like a 600, 650 or something like that. And then in the military, yeah, I know, right? Because it was the mini V-twin VMAX. It looks like the VMAX. That's what it looked like, and that's why I bought it, because I couldn't afford the VMAX, so I got the next best thing that looked like it. So the Phaser. So I had bikes, all throughout my adult life. I went through the gauntlet of sports bikes, the Yamaha, the Suzuki, the Hayabusas, the Kawasaki's. I just went through the gauntlet, but it wasn't until really I retired from the military until I started riding long distance and joining an MC, by it being a national club with chapters on both coasts. Then I would go to an event on the East Coast, leave the West Coast, leave Seattle, and ride to Georgia or ride to South Carolina to see my bros. And so I just caught the bug, man. It bit me. So from there, after that first cross-country ride from Seattle to Savannah, Georgia, I just fell in love with long distance riding, man. And it became my form of therapy.
On a side note, thank you for your service. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You did 22 years in the United States Army?
Yes, I did 22 years in the United States Army.
Thank you.
I ended up retiring, and I went through the gauntlet of stateside, overseas, Korea, Germany, 3 combat tours. So I went through the gauntlet, So coming back and really just putting the brakes on thing and shifting gears in life, of becoming a civilian, stepping back into the civilian sector, it was a shock. And if anybody tell you that it's not a shock, it was a shock to me, Denver. It seemed like life just slowed down so much. The pace of life was so slow. And so that's another reason why I joined MC. I was looking for that camaraderie. And being on the bike was connected us. The bike was, it gave you that feeling, that adrenaline rush. Being a paratrooper, being a air assault guy, jumping through windows, kicking down doors, that was the closest thing legal that I could do.
Air quotes.
Yeah. To give me that thrill. So yeah, man, I just took on motorcycle riding, long distance riding from there. And then I just met great people along the way, man, that was already in it or, stepping out into it as well.
What was the first bike you took long distance riding? Was it the Phaser?
No. I think
said,
really,
man.
I know, right? That really would be. But I think my first trip was probably from North Carolina to Atlanta, which really wasn't that far, probably about a 5 or 6 hour trip. And I did that on a ZX11 at the time, a little Kawasaki ZX11, which was comfortable because, that's that sports touring era when they first started bringing the Kawasaki ZX11 out. So that was really my first long distance ride. But now coast to coast, I did that on my 07 Road Glide, which that's the Cadillac. I call it Road Glide the Cadillac, man.
Oh, man, I love my Road Glide. It's like, I don't think I could ever go to another platform of, we all have our own choice. We all have a bike that works for us, but it's like after having one, I've got to test out, the bat wings. But for me, it's, when I've gone, the Columbia River Gorge, Washington, Oregon is a windy mofo. And man, I've had friends that had the front end buffering so bad. And it's like, you don't feel it on that Road Glide, that frame mounted fairing. It cuts through it. It's like, I don't think I could ever go away from it.
Yeah. I was, matter of fact, on my way up to Canada, I was on the 90 coming across the gorge, man. And I don't know how I forgot how windy it was when you was crossing the gorge. And I was literally leaning to the side, holding that thing up, man. It was just super windy. There was a couple of other gentlemen that was sitting at the little boat ramp there at the other side. And they were like, man, it's so windy. It's so windy. I'm like, nah, it's nothing. But in my head, I'm like, oh shit, man, it's windy as crap,
Yeah. Remember the first trip I took, I didn't have a windshield on the first one. Did a big loop. My first trip with my dad, actually, I sent you the pictures with my dad. And when I took my son on his first adventure, when I did a big loop around Washington on the Honda Sabre, the old V45 Sabre.
Yep, man.
And that got me hooked.
That's what got you hooked?
Yeah. Yep, that was my first one. And then, Dad, hey, let's do a little 3-4 day trip around the state. Awesome, man. Let's go. And that was the first one. Took off, up over the North Cascades, stayed in Winthrop, and then we worked our way through all the back highways down to Tri-Cities and then back along the gorge. And I was hooked.
That's the thing about Washington State, man. You can hit the Cascades, then you can go out to Yakima. You got the desert out there. Go over to Eastern Washington, swing down Spokane. What is it? Poland or something like that. Pullman, yeah, and then drop down. It's beautiful out there, man. The wheat fields. If you go at the right time of the year, man, it's beautiful. So yeah,
I head out of Pullman to Lewiston, hit that Rattlesnake Highway down to Enterprise. Mm-hmm. That's an epic ride. 129 through Washington, then you hit Oregon, it becomes 3, and head down to LeGrand, and wow, that is some beautiful country.
Yeah, it is. I enjoy it, man. Yeah. So that was my first coast to coast ride. I actually had a blowout in Texas, and it was my first blowout, and it was the rear tire. And luckily I had a tire repair kit and I plugged it. But the thing about it was so hot that the plug was literally coming out of the tire. So I'm like,
Jesus.
Yeah. So I'm like, crap, But this gentleman, man, real nice gentleman, stopped and he said, hey, look, you got these little cylinders. You're trying to pump that thing up. I'm going to run to the house and get my air tank. And he came back, man, and pumped my tire up for me. And he followed me to the next exit And he said, there's a dealer up here, which that dealer is now closed, that can fix your tire in the morning. So I ended up just putting up my tent, camping out there, waking up the next morning, getting it done. But man, that was an experience for me, for my having a blowout on my first cross country run. But it taught me a lot, and it made me better prepared for long distance riding.
Yeah, you got to, there's some great little pieces that a guy can throw in their pack just to that cheap insurance. You never know.
Yeah.
Whether, a small, air kit, like I said, a plug kit. It's like, I travel with a small socket set just because I had to buy the set because I needed one socket for my front brake caliper to do the pads. And I've gone on one ride without it, and I completely felt like I was naked. And I've needed it one time out. I can't count how many trips, but it's one of those things that just I don't want to leave, and I won't go anywhere without it. It's just one of those pieces that it's always in the saddlebag.
To
whether
me,
I can help somebody else or what.
Yep. To me, it's my gas can, man. I can't. I had 2 bikes, so that's one thing that I make sure that I change over when I change bikes. If I'm gonna ride my 09 or if I'm gonna ride my 24, I'm pulling that gas tank out, man. That extra gas can, because I've ran out of gas in the middle of nowhere. Where I pull up to a gas station, man, and literally the gas station pumps are shut down for the night, and you looking around like there's nobody, there's nothing. So only thing you can do is just pull out your tent, pull out your cot, and just huddle up and wait till in the morning till mom and pop come in their Chevy and fire up the pumps. So for me, that's that go-to, is having that gas can in my saddlebag, man.
I keep 2 1-liter fuel cell bottles of mine I always pack with me. And like I said, I've ran out a few times trying to push it. And one of them actually was my wife's first big trip when we went to Sturgis last year. We're coming back. We detoured up coming back through central Montana and pull up to the, middle of nowhere. I can't remember the town. And they only had regular. Well, with the cams that are in the bike, it does not like regular. She wants premium. I'm like, well, that ain't going to work. And I was pulling the little trailer, and we've been on the road for 13 days. So we had some extra gear, and I'm looking at the fuel gauge, and I look at the sign. I'm like, 60 something miles. I'm looking at my gas gauge, like, oh, this is going to be close. I'm like, fuck it. I got the fuel bottles. I know I got enough with the bottles. And we start going down the road, and probably a half mile from the gas station, I could see the gas station. And then all of a sudden, fucking motor shuts off. Get in the center lane, pulling the clutch. We're coach. She's like, what are you doing? We're out of gas. Well, how long did the gas light come on? So, baby, it's been on for a while. And I coasted 15 yards from the gas pump.
Yeah.
He just laughed. Like, you going to put the bottles in? I'm like, no, I'm just going to push it. I ain't doing it. But it's just one of those things. Like, it's going to be close, but, knowing that you got them, it's like, piss on it. I know I'll get there one way or another, but we made it.
Yeah, good deal, man. Good deal. I done some coasting up on 93 up in Nevada, man, coming down the mountains, and there's nothing up there. There's nothing. And so I was like, oh God, I don't want to run out of gas up here in the middle of nowhere. So I ended up shutting the bike off, pulling the clutch in, and just coasting downhill for maybe like 2 or 3 miles, hoping I made it. But I'm like, oh man, lights on. There's nothing. There's no sign coming up or anything. So that's a terrible feeling, man. When that bike shut off, it's go and you're done.
Yeah, I had that in California. I could see the exit sign for where I needed in Weed, California, when I was meeting Frank Orlando, and we were heading down to Turbo's birthday summer before last, and down in Irvine, California, and all them little hills in Northern California just killed it where I should have been able to make it. And I ended up having to use the fuel bottle. Then it's like, I'm not pushing this uphill all the way up there. And I end up being a quarter mile from the gas station, but it's like the fucking little hills killed it. I'm like, well, if I wouldn't have had all these hills to go up and down, it would have been fine. But
yeah, good deal, man. Good deal.
You push it, you get frustrated with yourself, but you can just I don't know, for me, it's like I'll laugh at it later. It's all part of the adventure.
Yeah, but long distance riding, man, that has become my therapy. Getting on the highway, just being adventurous, living life on the edge, and the solitude that I get from it is priceless to me. Meeting new people, different states, just living a biker lifestyle, man. Because prior to exiting my club, I was a nomad. I spent maybe 5 or 6 years as a nomad, And that was just literally riding by myself everywhere from California to Seattle to Vegas to North Carolina to Baltimore and all in between, Texas, all in between, just by myself, man. So, that's been great. And then I met Sharif Sadiq. And then from there, I was introduced to other organizations that presented me with other challenges other than just riding. Okay, now saddle sores. Now we're going to do bun burner goals. Now that's 1,524. Now we're going to get into, Kenneth Andrews, the Hoka Hey, and those guys. That was a whole new world. And then the SMA with their Four Corners ride. As a matter of fact, this would be my 11th year straight doing it, my 10th year documenting it, doing the Four Corners. So those type of rides just open more doors, more areas to ride, more locations. Eric Bosquel, RTE across USA was another great one, which all of those locations, I think I may have hit over 400 different locations across the country, including Alaska and Hawaii, because I ended up I rode up to Alaska and then I flew over to Hawaii. So all of that just opened a whole new world of long distance riding up to me, man, which really fit me.
Okay, so explain, because this is I don't understand the scoring part of the Ride to Eat.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, you put little points. So you go to, a restaurant that's on the list.
Right.
You get some, you snap the picture with, your sticker, whatever. Right. I don't understand how the scoring part works for all of it. I get confused.
It's great, man. I mean, the concept of it is outstanding. I commend Eric and his whole team down there who put that on, man. You go to one location. If that location is closed or it's not open, you get 1 point. If you go there, you frequent the restaurant or venue, 2 points. And they're all over the place, and they're all great places, man. Over 400 places I visited. And that really didn't help my diverticulitis, but at my weight, man, you should see my belt. I still have my belt. Oh God, I think I punched like 3 or 4 holes in the thing. But it's great because you find these small back road restaurants, and I love the back roads.
Oh, absolutely.
Some of the best food that's been around for years and years and years. And man, I tell you, the people are great there. They're happy to see you. And even up in Alaska, man, I went to the bus in Hyder for cod. I got some cod up there. So it is the RTE is a great source. If you're looking to get into long distance ride and say, well, I don't know where I want to go, I don't know what I want to see, I would tell anybody, do your homework, do your research, reach out to some of these groups, get some information about them, and join them and become part of the community, because basically it's a part of a community, man, because you got a lot of people riding. Also, you got Tour of Honor. They put
Tour of Honor's good.
Tour of Honor's great. A bunch of them, like I say, you look at my wall back there, Nova Scotia Cabot Trail. I had never heard of it. I've been in Nova Scotia, but I hadn't heard of the Cabot Trail. Rode up there, beautiful scenery, man. The west side, beautiful.
So you're going on, you're doing the Four Corners. Mm-hmm. Do you switch up your route quite a bit to try to just see? I mean, I know that.
Oh yeah.
What is it? To actually do the Four Corners, what do you allow? 21 days?
Yeah.
So, I mean, granted, if you've done it a fair number of times, I'm sure, try to switch it up to see some new scenery and venture around and try to see America.
And see what I do is I combine a lot of the SMA rides together. Like I would, the best 15, because like we just did, Sharif, Monica, myself, and 2 other gentlemen just did the Grand Slam, which was all of their premier rides for 24. For 25, they just added the Mother Road, Route 66, the east side and the west side. But we did the Grand Slam. And what I did is I combined like the best 15 highways, the California Adventure Series, all of that into my Four Corner ride, which was 21 days. So basically, when I was in California doing the Adventure Series, California Adventure Series, which is the Mission Tour, the best, I think it's 10 or 15 routes to California and national parks, I said, man, I'm already on this side. I'm going to shoot up to Washington State. And I think you saw me. Well, you may have reached out to me. Not that trip.
Yeah.
Not that trip. You're talking about the Rat 48, the Rat 48 with me, Reef, and Dave. But I said, man, I'm going to shoot up to Washington State, which is crazy because it's like Who just sit there and say, I'm going to shoot up from Northern California, Redwood, and just go up to Washington State, up to Blaine, just to start my 4-corner ride? But I did it, and it worked out great, man. I did it all in 21 days.
I had an old friend that did it. He's passed. He was a retired police officer, and he did it. He was in his 60s, and they really, like the South, he goes, just kind of hammered down long stretches. He goes, and they really took their time and stuff on the East Coast because his son had lived in Florida, and God, I think they did it in like 19 days. He goes, we even did sightseeing and whatnot, and along the East Coast, and really took their time. He goes, but there's places like, he goes, you can make up time and really go because vast, wide open areas like, Texas, it's huge and you can just go. And
Right.
like he was saying, the East Coast, he goes, there was stuff we wanted to see, met up with my son. They did a bunch of riding and said it was great. And yeah, they did it. I want to say it was like 19 days, 20 days. It was I know it was under the 21, but he goes, and they really took their time and enjoyed it.
Yeah. And that's what I like about it. It's not like you go out and do a saddle sore where you got 24 hours. And I tell everybody, a saddle sore is really an easy ride because you can literally stop in the middle of the ride, sleep for 6 hours, get up and continue riding to meet the quota of sand in 24 hours. Now, when you start,
if you're on the interstates,
if you're on the interstate, if you're on the interstate, but still, it's still a challenging ride. And my excitement from it is finding different areas to go through, change my route up, visit people, all of that, man, and definitely hit some restaurants because I still love to eat. I can't eat like I used to, but I still love to hit restaurants, good restaurants.
Yeah, I think the toughest saddle sore I did, I zigzagged the Cascade Passes from north to south. It was 6 of us.
Yeah.
That one was a tough one, man. We ended up, because one of them we had to cut one out due to road construction, so we had to make up some time in North Cascades to Stevens, down to Blewett, White Pass, Chinook Pass, Cayuse Pass, and we had to cut out Blewett because of construction. So we bombed out to Ritzville and down 395 down to Oregon, camped in Arlington, Oregon for like a 2-hour nap, got our saddle sore, and then up over Mount Hood and back to Port Angeles the next morning. You
said camping. You do a lot of camping on your rides?
When I did the Monsters Over Mountains, I've kind of in a way themed it after the Hoka Hey, where the vagabond style. Let's bust out a saddle sore on day one, find a little place to throw a bedroll down, get a power nap, and get back at it. Because I think it's a cool aspect of the adventure.
Yeah.
And some people think you're crazy. So there's no way. I said, man, you don't understand how fun it is. Sometimes, unless I got an education. Was it the second or third year I'd put it on? We went all the way out to through Washington, Lolo Pass, and camped up in Bonners Ferry, Idaho. Went around Flathead, and I think it was like 35-ish degrees, and I had a 40-degree bag. Yeah. You're laughing because you understand. I ordered a 0-degree mummy bag when I got home.
Yeah, man. You have to time that just right. You got to know your gear, man. You really do. I tell everybody, say, look, I have a summer tent, I have a winter tent. I said, man, don't go out there in the winter with a tent with a flap open and you got no heat or anything, man. You're gonna freeze to death.
Yeah, I got an education on that go around for sure. Got home, said, I'm fixing this problem because I ain't doing that again.
Good deal. Man.
You like I said, you got to pay attention to the season, time of year, where you're at, and maybe, pay attention to the country, like elevation wise.
Oh,
can play a big part in things.
Definitely. Beartooth Pass, man. I was there last year, and I got up there, and I said, hey, I'm gonna stop for a while, take some pictures, and just enjoy it. And all of a sudden, I felt this little tingle. Okay, a little moisture coming in, a little precipitation. And next thing I know, fog roll in and it just starts snowing its ass off, man. And here I am at the top of this thing, and I'm like, how am I going to get down? But yeah, elevation plays a major role, especially when you're thinking, okay, where am I going to shut down? Where am I going to shut down at? Am I going to spend the night up here, or am I going to get down to the bottom of it or try to get out of here? So yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, and one that got me is years ago, my son was playing baseball down in Oregon, on his travel team. They're down in Clackamas. So they were doing one game a day, and I'm like, shoot, I'll go down, 5 days. I'll just ride the bike down, watch some games, do some day riding. And one of the days it was like 100 degrees in Clackamas. It was, so I'm just my t-shirt, got my leather vest on. I'm like, cool, I'm going to go up and, ride up to Mount Hood. Never been up there before. And I'm stopping some small town getting fuel. And this old timer, he said, where are you going? I'm going to head up there, look, nice day. He goes, you ain't got a coat on. I'm like, dude, it's like 100 degrees. He's like, it could be 100 down here. He goes, it's going to be 40 up there or less. He goes, you don't know about that mountain. And okay, yeah, we'll be fine. Fuck. I got up there. It was like 35. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting it. But, and it was one of the things. I hadn't ventured to that part of the country or, was just really getting into all the, the longer distance riding and still educating myself even on, some day rides. Say, cool, you kind of gotta plan for Mother Nature a little bit.
Yeah, especially when you're dropping out of Oregon through Northern California, man, Sescues, all of that up there. It'll roll in on you.
Oh yeah. Well, and like you're saying with Beartooth, what's almost 11,000 feet?
Oh my God, man.
Tallest drivable pass in the United States, I believe.
I think, yeah. I think there's one more. But it was good though. I enjoyed that ride though. I really did. And a lot of people have been exposed to it because they seen me do it and they seen other people do it and they first time hearing about it. So for me, I try to be a steward of that. That's another reason why I ride is I try to find locations and places that some people aren't familiar with and sit and say, hey, look into this. You see me do it, you can do it. That's my whole motto, aspire to inspire, man. I try to
exactly. I was going to throw that in there.
Yeah, I try to inspire others to get out and ride like the Hoka Hey, like the IBA and even the IBR. A lot of people wanting to do the Iron Butt Rally now because they seen Sharif and I do the Iron Butt Rally. So the thing is, that's always been one of my motivations to sit there and say, don't just get on the interstate and ride, hit these back roads and see some of these Beartooth Pass, Lolo, go over here to the gorge, go to the Cascade, go to all these places that we mentioned because they offer some of the best scenery. They offer some of the best riding, curves, the elevations, all of it. And people,
the swill of some undisturbed country still.
Yes, the air be so fresh, man, fresh and crisp. And it will almost give you a high because I've ridden through some places, man. I'm like, everything just open up. I'm in tune with it. I can smell it. And for me, I can go through Wyoming and get a kick out of it. I can ride through some of the back roads of freaking Montana and be like, yeah, man, this is beautiful. This is great. This is what they call God's country, man, because the thing is, it's still pure out there. It's not a lot of smog. There's no big cities and stuff like that. So I get a kick out of it. Another reason why we do the Three Flags Classics, because it takes you through some of those back roads and less travel scenic rides.
Yeah. Wyoming. Boring as shit. Antelope, bunch of pump jacks, but Western Wyoming through the Tetons is absolutely epic and gorgeous. And actually another one fun that I did this, we're in 25 now, last year. 395 Pendleton down to John Day down Highway 395 is absolutely gorgeous.
Okay.
Man, there's some beautiful country to be had out that way when you're going down. You get down south out of Pendleton, you kind of run in the canyon, you're along the river, and then you start climbing all these little mountain hills down through South Central Oregon Eastern Oregon, but you're going down through the central part of it. And man, it is just, there's some epic, amazing country. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Right. Good deal, man. Good deal. So one of the places
I just want to get lost.
Life's been good, man. Life's been good. We was in the green room just chopping it up a little bit a while ago. And, like I said, man, I'm recovering from some medical issues. So I kind of pulled back a little bit last year. I think I may have ended the year on like 75,000 miles logged, getting a new bike and everything like that. But that's been a major change in my life now of riding. And that's kind of how I got into podcasting. I know we had talked about that briefly.
Yeah.
But I was definitely looking forward to doing the 2024 Hoka Hey, but due to that, I wasn't able to. So I said, what is the next best way that I can contribute or be a part of? And it was this podcasting, man. It was podcasting. So for me, that's how I ended up here behind this platform, this seat, man. But I still love riding. I'm still going to continue to ride, man.
Even like we were talking about during the Hoka Hey, when I know you hooked up with Hop and there was a couple other riders, and the commentary you were doing every day was so informative, and it was super cool. And I know, I've talked to a bunch of people that we all got addicted to watching it, because you can watch all the trackers all day, but then when you throw in somebody like yourself that has the knowledge and the experience of riding across this country numerous times, when you the areas and some little curves that get thrown in, and no, it was super cool listening to that. And I mean, I think you guys did an amazing job, and it was awesome to follow and watch.
Oh man, I've gotten some great feedback on it. People have inboxed me, asked me, are you going to do it next year? Are you going to do other events? Knowing how the Hoka Hey works, knowing the location they were in, able to read the map and see the tracker, how it was moving. I felt as though I was right there with those guys. Now, granted, they rode through that storm, all of that stuff down there, hurricane down there in freaking Florida, man, which I salute everybody who participated last year. But just that alone, twice a day, it made me feel as though I was a true part of that, man. Looking at the guys' mistakes, looking at them riding, it felt. I see.
Pendants when the coyote took him out, got one of his hats.
Yeah. So that made me feel as though I was a part of it, man. So it was good.
For sure.
I really enjoyed it. And it kind of opened me up to this, where I've been a solo, hence my name, Ksolo rider. And I just kind of rode for me and my mental, dealing with PTSD, my therapy. But this kind of just opened me up and made me want to share more, because, I was doing my solo moments for a long time. I would just post a picture, a little short snippet video, and people would be like looking for, where's Ksolo in the office today? Where is he at today? Is he going to be on the East Coast, the West Coast, in Texas? So it just made me want to just share more with everybody, to sit there and say, hey, look, there's more to riding than just from point A to point B. Get out and explore, get out and see other things, man. Hit the back roads. That's another one of mine. Hit the back roads.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I get there's times where people want to go to A to B, so you got to get there. But if you got the choice, go A to B, but up, down, sideways, don't hit the super slab if you don't have to. See America, find these mom and pop places that, like we're saying, experience the food, experience the sights, the smells, see the country, because God, I can't remember who it was. There's been a few different people we talked about, all these people that got their bucket list. Oh, I want to go to Germany. I want to go to Italy. I want to go here. You know how much stuff we have within our own country, within our own borders, that people don't see because nobody travels that way. They would just I just want to hit I-90. I just want to hit 5 or the 10. I just got to get there. No, man. Don't.
Oh, man.
Explore.
You hit the nail right on the head with that one. That you hit it right on the head. People want to go, oh, I want to go to Europe and ride, or I want to go over here and ride. Well, where have you ridden here in America? Where have you ridden in the United States? Have you been to all 50 states? Have you ridden to Alaska other than Hyder? Have you been to Anchorage? Have you been to Fairbanks? Did you go up to I'm gonna say everybody can't go up to Dalton, but the Arctic Circle?
True.
And people can go to the Arctic Circle, but the thing is everybody wants everybody, and that's another thing that I've learned. Not everybody ride for the same reason. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are in clubs, they ride for the club. A lot of people are just riding for themselves. A lot of people are riding because they want to accomplish something, to sit and say, I've done so many of this, or I rode this far, or whatever the case may be. Some people ride for other people now, you know what I'm saying, for charity organizations and events. So everybody's not riding. But the thing about it is, I still stick by my motto of aspire to inspire. So if you're riding and you want to share it, inspire others to get out there and do it, to share that trip with others, to get out and say, hey, look, man, go over here and ride the Appalachian Trail. Go ride the Blue Ridge. Go and do the Love 1000. I did the Love 1000, ride 5 different love sounds here in the state of Virginia, man. So the thing is there's a lot to do other than just point A to point B.
Or, the thing of putting on a ride, like, I do put on my ride every year for Mile Monsters, and it's been cool. I've been able to bring people from all over the country have came up. So it's like, cool. We got, these guys coming up, I'll get with Frank, and because, we've been doing this since the beginning, and Michael Nielsen, say, cool, we got these guys coming up. And we do probably, it's always, it's set up as a bun burner. We do at least 1,500 miles in 36 hours is the goal. But maybe 5% of that on the actual interstate. It's all back highways, but we'll take into consideration, hey, we know the short little hidden gem like Lewis in Idaho, you got the Spiral Highway. Mm-hmm. You got, Canyon Road outside of Ellensburg, from Ellensburg to Yakima or down to Sela. The backside of Chinook, there's switchbacks that go up 410. And so we try to throw in these places that people don't know about, because, that half the fun of it is introducing people to the area and showing them stuff that they probably would never see, because a lot of stuff is little hidden gems that people mainly that live in the area or the Northwest know about, these cool little places. And yeah, it might only be a 10-mile road, a 7-mile road, but it is the coolest, most epic, short little places. And I want to share that with people. Like last year, we took them out to the Tree of Life, which is damn near sitting on the ground now out on the coast of Claylock. And trying to showcase different areas to introduce people to some cool shit in the Northwest. And I enjoy it, taking people around and showing stuff. And, I don't want to say being an ambassador to the area, but I want to introduce people to cool shit and places that are fun, cool to eat, places to stop. And, like we're saying, stuff you're not going to see unless you're off the highways and you're traveling America.
Right. And different organizations, and you meet people when you join these organizations, man. That's one thing I always said about the Hoka Hey. It's not just a ride, it's a community. It's not just you getting on blasting 10 days or 11 days, whatever it take you to finish it. It's after the fact. It's that bond that you meet with people, because you're going to be leapfrogging back and forth, seeing faces, seeing people with highs and lows and ups and downs and smiles and tears. So you share all that with people, man. So, even when you do the tour of honor, how it takes you to all these different sites to commemorate service members, conflicts and all of that, it connects you, it ties you to other people with that same like interest.
Well, like you and Reef, your Reef and Solo's Ride to Eat.
Yeah.
And you guys are bringing the community together.
That's it, man. That is probably one of the best demonstration of taking something and turn it into something that benefits all. And what we wanted to do with that is just come together in the middle of the country, break bread, and then go back home. And I still love it. And we've been doing this now for almost a decade, and I love it. Sharif and I, we still ride together. We talk almost every day. So the thing is we're like brothers, man. We're brothers. And when we see each other, we're happy to see each other when we come together at the RTE. And I would tell anybody on your platform, my platform, if you're looking to meet some long distance rider, man, come to the Reef and Ksolo Ride to Eat. We're going to be in, wait a minute. I can't think of the name. Well, I know I know we're going to be in Little Rock. I know we're going to be in Little Rock, but the actual place where we're staying, that's what I can't remember the place where we're staying, but we're going to be in Little Rock, Arkansas, to break bread. So if you come, we got a Facebook page, we got a group page, we got an event page. Go look it up. Reef and Ksolo Ride to Eat, man.
Yeah, I don't see the 25.
Yeah, it's out there.
On here.
We're gonna be in Little Rock. So we're gonna be in Little Rock, Arkansas. But the place that we're gonna be staying, that's what I can't remember the name of it. Because we what we do is we stay in one location and we ride to the ride to eat. And we're like when we was in Texas, man, we had almost 300 bikes. 300 bikes.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. So it's something great that I would encourage everybody. And also the 7th annual taco run up at Small Mountain Taco. That's going to be April the 11th through 13th.
Yeah. I would like to get down to that sometime. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know Reef, he caught me off guard. It was like 2 years ago. We're coming through, me and some friends were doing, the Monster Mountains. We're coming out of Spokane, and Shelf Ederson was, she's riding with me. She's beside me. And all of a sudden it's like 6 a.m. and Reef's calling me. I'm like, what the hell? It's Sunday morning, 6 o'clock. And, hit the old comm the helmet. And he was like a half hour behind us in Spokane. We're actually running from the fires because they'd shut down 90. So we're having to really detour all around because we had to hit 90 first minute to get up to 2 and couldn't go where we wanted. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm going to Bellevue to get some good barbecue food, man. Let's go eat. I'm like, shit, dude, we're going south the other way. I'd freaking love to if I had time.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. Yeah, I was watching your tracker. I seen where you're at. I'm like, holy shit, this totally caught me off guard. You always watch my spot wall. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
He's a super cool dude.
Yeah, he is, man. He's a big help, and shout out to him for being selected for the 2025 Titan Award that'll be going on next month down in Jacksonville, Florida.
Actually, I was going to ask you about that because you got the AZ Rat Pack Titanium Award. Now, what exactly is that? Because I don't know about it.
Yeah, basically, the AZ Rat Pack is a riding group based out of Phoenix, Arizona. And they put on rides throughout the year. They go and they take some of the most beautiful scenic routes. And part of participating in it, just like the SMA, is that you participate in all the rides. And the thing about it is, you for me, the hardest part of me is that I would be anywhere across the country, and I would have to get to Arizona to make the ride, to complete the ride and fellowship, and then continue my ride. So for me, it was a challenge of trying to fit it all in throughout my 100,000 mile year, which was great to me. So it's just like the SCMA. As a matter of fact, the new director now for the AZ Rat Pack is assistant director for the SCMA.
Oh, so, wow. Okay.
So Rodney is doing great with it, man. So the AZ Rat Pack is another great riding group.
So are you going to continue, to always, I think you've done it twice, 2 100,000 mile calendar years. You still going to try to push for those?
Hey, man, listen, I just saw Riot do it. And I sit there now like, how in the heck did I do it? And I did it twice. I seen Hopper do his 100K in 100 days. And I'm like, man, how did he do it?
Insane.
So for me, I think I am good with 75 on the year. I think that's a good average for me.
That is very respect. Anything.
Man. So for me, I think I'm gonna try to keep it around about 75.
No, I totally get it.
And I really must, if I did not mention Andy Anderson, because Andy Anderson was the first person that I met that told me that he had ridden 100,000 miles in a year. I met him up in Smithers. And when he said it so calm, like, and I didn't believe him. I said, man, this old guy ain't really no 100,000 miles in a year. But then when I went and looked at his IBA resume, I was like, my mouth dropped. I was like, he did that. He did that. So I have to send a shout out to Andy Anderson, man. He's the one who inspired me to sit there, and it wasn't a goal, it happened. Because when you set out to do it, who knows what may happen in 365 days? Who knows what may happen between mile 0 and mile 100,000?
This is true.
He inspired me, man, and a lot of people. Highway Smiley inspired me to ride the Dalton Highway, and come to find out, he hadn't even ridden the Dalton Highway. He went up to the Arctic Circle. But it's that type of inspiration that I search for and that I try to be for others, man. And for me, I think 75 is good. I get to see where I get to meet people, see people, go places, eat food. And the therapy session for me is great, man.
Hey, there's nothing better, for the soul than throttle therapy. Get on two wheels, and whether you want to call it the throttle therapy, the two-wheel therapy, whatever. I can 100% agree. It is great, and it is a great just mind clear. And there have been times I've done it. Come home just having your just mind's in a funk. I've just go for a ride, and other days, it doesn't have to be all day. It could just be 10 miles. Go up a little loop. I got one around the house. Come back. You feel better. You feel rejuvenated, and you get in that wind a little bit, and I don't know. It's hard to describe it to people that I don't know that don't understand motorcycles.
Right. So it's great, man. As long as I continue to ride, as long as my health stay good, I'm gonna keep my head in the game. I'm gonna keep riding. I may cut back on some of the extended rides per se. But I'm gonna continue to ride.
Yeah, live to ride to live.
That's it, man. And I'm gonna stay in the culture as long as I can.
It is amazing fun and a great place to just be. Just
right.
Get on the bike and get lost.
Right. How you like this podcast? How you liking this podcasting thing, man? I was dying to ask you because the last time we talked,
I enjoyed it. It's fun. You get out there. You sometimes I think the hardest part can be finding people, getting schedules lined up, and getting all that. I think it's really great if you can try to keep yourself a few weeks ahead, try to schedule out so you know what's going on. But no, I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun getting to meet people and hearing their stories and sharing stories and just getting to know the community more.
Right. I went back and took a look at a couple of episodes, man. Riot, Sparks, a lot of those guys. I can't remember the gentleman rode the Panhead. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Hide. Hide. There you go. And so it was great, man. Just looking at your material and your content. So I'm loving what you're doing, man. Just keep going. Just keep rolling.
Thank you. No, and much like you, you've started yours. You got your podcast going, Riding with Ksolo, the podcast with Logic, and no, it's cool. You've been getting out there. You get into it, and you realize how fun it is, and you get to meet different people, more people, and just keep it going.
Yeah. So it's just another part of the culture, another part of extending the message of inspiring others. I look at it as a tool, and definitely going to say keep it positive, man. Keep it positive. Keep riding. Keep making memories.
100%.
Yeah. Yep.
Got to keep yourself out there and just I think I've met a few guys who really got the moto vlogging and doing a lot of that, and the video and all that, but so sometimes you just gotta put that stuff away and also ride for yourself too, and not just ride to make content. Just you gotta enjoy it.
Exactly.
It's a give and take relationship, and you sometimes just gotta put them away and say, you know what, no, this is just for me. I gotta do this.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I've seen people lose their reason, because now they're riding for content. Now they're riding to capture a moment. Never forget why you ride, man. Never forget why you ride. If you started out as a therapy session, ride for that therapy session. Ride for peace, inner peace.
Don't ride for the likes.
Don't ride for the likes, man, because the likes going to get you killed for nothing. Ride for your peace of mind. Ride for your stability. Ride for your health. Ride for your well-being. I'm glad you said that, because I see the culture. I see where things are going, and I see what's driving it. And as long as you stay positive with it, man, stay grounded with it, you'll be great. You'll be great.
What's one piece of advice you give to somebody that's really looking to get into motorcycles more, even say into the long distance riding and pushing themselves a little farther?
I would say, do it for you. Do it for you. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it for somebody else, because it's just like a boxer, man. A boxer can have all the coaches and people in his corner, but when he get in that ring, It's that boxer that's battling it out. It's just like you on that highway and you're taking that risk of, okay, other drivers, the weather conditions, wildlife, anything that you can't see. But the passion for riding, the passion that you see out of your eyes and what you take in, your senses, your five senses, man, let that be for you. Join other organizations, broaden your scope of people that you're around, be open as subject to all of it. If you want to go to Sturgis, take it all in, see the sights, hear the sounds. If you want to ride the back roads, go and find some little mom and pop store or go ride some curves somewhere. People say, man, I'll ride you any day. Yeah, you can outride me on straight line, but hey, you come ride on these back curves with me. You know what I'm saying? And ride the Blue Ridge with me, or go and ride Devil Highway with me. I can ask people now, some people may know about the Bear in the Cave. For me, every time I ride the Devil's Highway, man, I like to go see the Bear in the Cave. Because why? When I rode the Hoka Hey the first time, when I came around the curve and I seen the glowing eyes, basically it was just little luminous stickers that they put on the bear, but I was like shocked and it just stuck in my mind. So let the ride be for you. People riding in clubs. Remember, you ride in the club, but you don't want to get on that motorcycle. Let that journey, even if you're going to go from state to state, enjoy that journey. Let some part of that be for you. Let some part of it bring you some therapy, like you say, throttle therapy. So for me, man, that's what I want people to say. Ksolo inspired me because I know why he rides now. I know what he get out of riding, and I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I mean, you got guys like Kenneth Andrews, man, and I know I'm all over the place. You got Kenneth Andrews, you got the Bells, man. You got my man Kodak. All of these guys ride for a reason. PTSD, military. You got Rise riding for the kids. You know what I'm saying? Find something that's going to bring therapy to you, but get on that motorcycle and let you be at peace with it. Let you enjoy every bit of every gas stop. The people that you meet at gas station. Piper, she's all over the place, man. She meet people, she's dancing, she's smiling. Hoagie, man, with his charity organization. All of these people,
Hoagie's heroes.
Yeah, Hoagie's heroes, man. And let that be something in you. Even if you sit there and say, man, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I have my priorities, my commitments. It don't have to be coast to coast, but when you do go for a ride, enjoy the ride and let it be for you.
Yeah. You forgot the other thing that Ken rides for. He rides to Never Forget Florida.
Yeah. And he also brings the rain, man.
Yeah.
Bring the rain, man. Go home, Ken.
I'll never forget that story. Doing the 48 and 10, and he forgot Florida.
Yeah. But
he got the 47 and 10.
But you know what though, man? One thing I love about it, he went right back and did it again, because that's Ken.
Mm-hmm.
Man. That's a sailor, man. That's
yep.
That's Ken for you, And you guys got like Lionel Ramos, man. You got Greg Rice. You got a lot of people out there that's riding for great reason, great causes, man. And so I just say, ride for you, enjoy the
motivation.
Ride. Exactly.
Everybody has that different motivation to help push them that little bit more. But right. No, like I say, just enjoy it, man. Get out there and ride, get in the wind. Say you want to go somewhere. Cool. Pick your, what I've told a few people, pick a destination somewhere you want to go. Like I said, it doesn't have to be far.
Mm-hmm.
Don't map your way there. Just figure, you know what? I'm going to get there in 2 days. That's my plan. And I mean, sure, I could get there in 6-8 hours, but you know what? It's going to take me 2 days because I'm going to take one hell of a detour. And, I could use my dad for that. When he retired, him and a buddy, they were going to ride out to Missoula. And then, my wife, she's like, man, because you talked to your dad lately? I'm like, no, it's been like 7 days. I thought he'd be back by now or whatever. So I call him. Got this hellacious background noise. And him and his buddy Todd, they're down in fucking Louisiana, New Orleans. I'm like, what the hell happened to Missoula? We took a right turn. Jesus Christ. Fucking awesome. But, it's like, fucking, I'm retired. And, they found some bar if you wanted to wait for a table. It was free beer to wait to have dinner. And he's like, we're letting people go in front of us. You could tell they're having a really good time. But, yeah, he's like, fuck it. I had, he was retired. He 37 years working at the mill and decided, hey, I'm going to go for an extended ride. And,
Right.
he had one epic fun adventure and it was pretty cool.
I'm glad you mentioned that, man. One thing that chapped my hide, and please, whoever's watching this, don't sit there and judge me, in case maybe it's just me. One thing that chapped my hide is when people ask, how did you do it? What route did you take? What did you do here? Dude, do homework. Do your homework. Tailor the ride for you. You see what I'm saying? Because just because I rode the ride, or I went this way and this is how I did it, that's how I did it. Set your own ride up. Do your own homework. Plot and plan your ride for what you want to enjoy and see and do. People sit there and say, Solo, how you do this? Yeah, I'll sit there and say, well, okay, this is a great time of the year to do it because that's when I did it. Who knows? The weather pattern is changing. You may go out there and it may be storming. And you sit there and say, well, man, I went out there and got a crappy ride in. But do your own homework. Look at the weather patterns. Look at the route. Go online to some of these places that you want to travel and say, well, okay, I know 70's closed. 70's in California, 70's been closed for 2 or 3 years now through traffic because of fires up there. And it was devastating. And with all the fires that's going on now up there in California. And I want to send a shout out to those people, man. Keep everybody in all these places that's been impacted by weather in North Carolina, California, all over that's been impacted. Sending prayers and blessings to them, man. And hopefully they can get some relief or get assistance. But plan your ride so that you can enjoy it, so that when you go out there, you can say, man, I really enjoyed it. I planned it this way. And this, I saw, I've seen what I wanted to see. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
I think you could, I agree with what you're saying 100%. And who was it? I think it's Ken. He had that saying, plan your ride your plan.
Yeah.
But then I think, there's one thing, say somebody's, I'll use you as a reference just because of the vast knowledge, experience, all your riding coast to coast. Guy plans his ride and he goes like, hey, I'm going to be taking, say the Blue Ridge Parkway. He say, I want to ride it. Would you recommend north? I mean, should I go north to south or should I go south to north? Maybe there's a better direction. I think it's one thing, but I agree with you. You want to make a great plan, great ride, do it. But I can also, take the aspect of looking for advice. Say, here's my plan, but I want to take this highway. Would you, what's your recommendations for which way, should I hit this on the way back for scenery or better riding? And I think there's ways, I don't really know where I'm going with it, but I think, don't be afraid to ask for help too, I guess.
Well, yeah, I'm, that's asking for help. If I give you a fish, you'll live for a
Or
day.
advice.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If I teach you how to fish, you live a lifetime. So for me, man, it's like, I've asked people, how did you do this? How you do that? And basically it's the equipment, the gear, the seat that you use, that Wild Hog seat is used for the comfort, certain things like that. I always say carry a fuel jug, carry tools and stuff like that. But when you're talking about planning a ride, man, you sit down with a map, you sit down on your computer and you sit there and say, well, okay, this is where I'm going to point A to point B. What's in between? Maybe I want to go see Cadillac Ranch, Bug Ranch. Maybe I want to go up to Wild Bill, or wherever. Or I want to go through and see what the OK Corral and stuff like that, or Jesse James Hideout. That's what I mean when I say plan your ride.
Oh yeah,
you want to see, because you miss one thing I couldn't stand, man, is I would go and I'd ride and I'd miss something. And I'd go back later and look it up, or I hear somebody mention and say, daggone it, I missed that. But then it opens me up to now I can go ride it again because that's more I get to see.
Yeah, and that's what I've, found out, listen to different people, talk about little stuff. Man, you see all the little pins I got dropped on my Google Maps, places if I'm ever out right, it's like, hey, okay, what's some cool stuff that I pinned that I haven't been that I want to see? Awesome. Right. Or like you're saying, you planning yourself a week-long ride. Think of places you want to see. Cool. Now, how can I link these together?
There you go.
And yeah,
so that's more than one way to skin a cat, man. But
exactly.
That's just one thing that people sit there and say, what did you see and what did you do in 100,000 miles? Well, that's my therapy session, man.
I see that a lot. I think in people that do the 48 and 10. in some of these different groups. Hey, what was your map? Can I see your map? Seen that a lot. Yeah, and that's just one that I can reference because it just popped in my head. But yeah,
because everybody wants to take the fastest way. Everybody wants to sit there and say, well, okay, I'm going to follow this route and do what the case may be. But,
and half the fun of riding, especially if you're taking adventures, kind of somewhat planning a route or making, if you're taking a group ride with some friends, or like, this year I'm taking a trip with my dad. That was my Christmas present to him. I'm going to pay for the trip. Well, I'm going to pay for our stays. We're going to take off for 2, 3, 4 days. I'm not sure, but it's like I told myself, all the hotels are on me. We ain't ridden together. We haven't taken off for days and years. And so instead of, the traditional Christmas gift to my dad, this year it was a memory. I said, yeah, you don't get this today, but this summer, pick the destination, pick where you want to go. We ride your pace. I'm paying. Let's just go have fun.
That's awesome, man. That's
awesome.
I'm
so looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. To date, what is probably one of your most memorable rides?
Ooh. Probably when I rode down to Irvine, California for Turbo, one of our heroes in Mile Monsters. Mm-hmm. When I got down there and to see the smile on his face when, there's 5 of us from up here in the Northwest that went all the way down there. Mm-hmm. We're literally down there for like a 2-hour birthday party, and it was like 1,700 miles one way.
Yeah.
But you know what? To see the smile on his face, and, Frank Orlando had hooked up with did some networking and knew a guy that owned a Harley shop down there, and the guy had a Ural with a sidecar, and told Frank, hey, come get my Ural, take him to his party in the sidecar.
Right.
And, he got to lead it, and it was so cool. Just, and to me, it's those little things that build a memory that's like, man, it's what it's about, and it's little things that you can do for others. And also, I'm enjoying riding. I'm getting to do what I enjoy. I love riding, but I'm also doing something for somebody else. And it's a win-win when, with these boys and Mile Monsters that are, fighting a disease right now that we have no cure for, with Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. And so if I can, make him smile and being part of his day and, build that memory, then man, it's a win.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That is awesome. But
and then besides that, it's probably with taking my wife to, we rode to Sturgis. She never had been more than, say a 5-6 hour ride, and to go, take off for a total of 13 days on the bike and spend 7 days over there. And that was a lot of fun, memories that I'll never forget. And we had a lot of fun. We just kind of went at her pace. It wasn't about just slamming miles. And, granted, she did almost 2 days at over right about 700 miles. And, it was, she had fun. And so we just kind of went at her pace. It wasn't about, like I said, slamming the miles. It's like, we're just going to ride. And when we're tired and time to stop, cool, we'll stop.
Right. That's awesome, man. That is awesome.
What about you? What's your favorite one last year?
Oh man, the whole SMA. The whole SMA. I had a great time. Three Flags is always good. That's always a great ride. Cabot Trail was another good one. And then when I was riding up in California for their best 15 highways, man, it took me to some locations. Point Reyes National Seashores was a good one. Running that West Coast was nice, but of course I enjoy Redwood. But for me, I like the camp. And when I went to the Dakotas right before the Hoka Hey, I stopped out there, and I was trying my best to just get myself right, to get myself mentally fit. And that's when I realized, I said, hey, I can't do it, man. So that's when I knew that I had reached a limit. You see what I'm saying? Where I could push myself. And to me, it opened my eyes, and it brought me I felt human again. You know what I'm saying? I felt human again, because for a long time I felt like, man, I'm not human. You know what I'm saying? I could do some great things on a motorcycle. I can go ride far and all of that. But the SMA ride was a good one. for me during the Grand Slam, the whole entire thing. And then the communications that Monica and Sharif and I had going back and forth when we were just tracking each other on the tracker and seeing movement, that whole portion to me was great. So that really topped off my 24 year. I say the SMA Grand Slam.
What's one you're looking forward to for this year?
The Reef and Ksolo RTE. I can't wait to see everybody at the RTE, man.
And that's, you know, and
Little
I think
Rock's
that
gonna
comes.
be fun. Little Rock's gonna be fun. I wanted to be at the Proc this year at the Pro Convention down in Atlanta, Georgia, but with the weather that came through and getting out in it, it wouldn't have been good for me. But you know, there's other events that I'm going to be attending. I may even hit Sturgis this year to go down and just kind of enjoy. Do some camping up there in the backwoods up there, but just getting out, just really for me, just getting out and getting back on the scoop, getting some saddle time in, man.
Well, hey, if you make it up to the Northwest, man, I run a damn mean smoker.
Oh, definitely. That's on my list, man. When I head that way for my 10th, 4th corner, I'm gonna swing over and take you up on that smoker, man.
Oh, anytime. I'd be honored.
Oh yeah.
So, well, hey, buddy, man, thank you for coming and hanging out tonight. It's been fun. You know, it's been years since, like I said, hell, I was doing this, recording these over the phone in my bedroom last time you were on. And, never wasn't even here on YouTube doing the video. It was just sitting in a little corner of my room with the iPhone and a little speaker, and things grow and change, and it's been a fun ride.
Yeah, it has, man. You're doing great things, and best wishes to you, man. Continue to push forward and keep inspiring.
Hey, thank you, and likewise, man. It's cool to see you getting out there, and with as long as you've been in it, and the community that really follows you. You get some great guests, and I think the future is going to be great for it because of what you've put into the community, and everybody. You got a lot of people that follow your adventures and a lot of people that really you inspire. And I think growing your podcasting is going to be amazing.
Hey, man, I got a great support team. I'd be remiss if I didn't send a shout out to my guy, Logic. I really appreciate him coming on. Of course, when we started doing the Hoka Hey broadcast, he was right there with me. And I'm telling you, man, he's a great guy. I appreciate him. All of my support channel, Tip. I appreciate Tip, Nurse Tip helping me out. Big Sarge with the Iron Elite podcast, Retro, GQ, all of those guys, LT, FHO, all of those guys, man, and for just inspiring me to get out here and do this. And I'm hoping that I can continue to bring a good quality content to inspire others. That's what I want to do. And if I can't do that, man, I'm out of there.
No, I think you do a great job at it, man. Honestly.
Yeah. It's not about me, man. It's about the people that I bring on.
Exactly. And that's why I got you here tonight, man. It's all about you and about the, trying to get some of the pointers.
Yeah. Ride, man. Ride your ride. Ride as much as you want. Hit the back road.
Get out there and just enjoy it.
That's it. Live it.
Right on, buddy. Well, hey, thank you so much for hanging out tonight, bro. It's been a lot of fun. Hang out for a minute. I got one thing for you, but hey, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in tonight. With Milepost 142. I can't believe it's gone that far. It's been a lot of fun, and can't wait to knock down some more. So, hey, guys, have fun, ride safe. We'll catch you in the crossroads. Later.